Is Kyle gaming Pete?
All right. So Kyle, to this point this season, would you agree, has been all over the map in what he has told you and other beat reporters in how he is going to use Trey Lance? And he seems to be delighting in that fact.
Utterly all over the map. And when I ask him about it, he's like, I've been consistent all year. Like, no, you haven't. Okay.
Yeah. It's been obvious what
Yeah.
I've said, Grant. Just follow along.
Trying.
Connect the
Yeah, trying.
dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this week, it seemed that Kyle seemed to go out of his way to imply that Trey and his usage will not go up substantially. And there's no way that we're seeing the platooning in and out like we did in the preseason. That was preseason. This is the regular season. You're never going to see that. So I began to wonder, and admittedly, this is, just throwing it out there. I'm not predicting this, but it's a fun thing to mentally go through the exercise. Does Kyle's messaging on Trey this week actually imply that this is the week Trey's package gets laid out there for everyone to see? He's saying there's no way, and therefore this is the week.
Isn't that so sad that it's come to this, where Kyle Shanahan has essentially fibbed to us so many times this year that if he says something emphatically, we're like, well, that means that the opposite right there. That proves the opposite. I've got to read on Kyle now. If he says something, it means the opposite. I don't know. Maybe, dude. I think that might be, there might have something to that. He's basically said all year, don't believe a word I say. That's the most consistent thing he said all year is, look, I don't have to tell you the truth, and I'm not going to. And then he goes on to contradict himself left and right and says, look, I've been very consistent. Yeah, you have been consistent. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm not telling you the truth. So when he says, like, I'm not going to play Trey, or, he's just like another wide receiver or tight end, or just don't listen to him. He basically says he doesn't want to answer any questions. He doesn't want to be held accountable. Yeah, he spent a first-round pick plus 2 more on this guy, but stop asking about him. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? He's got that on lock. Don't worry about it. That's for him to worry about. Stop asking him. No, but really, I think he certainly could spring Trey Lance this week. I'm going to say something else. He better, because if he doesn't, I think he's going to lose. Like, it's real noble to try to win games without your best quarterback.
Yes.
Your most talented quarterback. But you should probably play your most talented quarterback at some point. I'm just saying.
Probably should.
Most
Especially when your
teams do.
offense is struggling in the way that the 49ers had coming out of the gate.
Particularly the run game.
Particularly the run game. That seems to be lacking the same creative juices that were so successful in years past. People seem to have caught up to the creativity that is on the field this year.
Needs a wrinkle.
Needs a wrinkle. Where could we find a wrinkle for this offense?
Didn't they spend like a bunch of first-round picks on just such a wrinkle?
I think this week would be a perfect
time.
Year?
Again, these are really difficult games. Maybe they would have beaten the Packers had they gotten Trey Lance involved in the first half and not fallen behind 17-0. Right. Maybe they would have. Hard to win when you fall behind 17-0. Very courageous comeback. Hard to win. And if they do that again this week, they're not going to beat Russell Wilson. We're going to talk about how good he is in close games.
So clutch.
Better than Rodgers.
Yeah. I think if we cover the reasons that the 49ers should implement Trey this week, they seem obvious to me. You want to get out of the gate like gangbusters. You cannot have another game where you come out slowly. I said it last week before the Packers game. If the 49ers come out and put up a goose egg in the first quarter, we will lose to the Packers. Sure enough, we lost to the Packers because we came out and laid an egg in the first quarter. It felt like there was nothing that could go right, and we went to every trick in the bag when it came to the run game, except the one that every fan wants to see, which is Trey Lance.
Yeah. And it's like they ended up scoring 29 points, and Trey Lance scored a touchdown, even through a pass. So no one really complained. But if they lose this game by 2 touchdowns and only score 13 points on offense, it'll be an outcry. And that could happen because, again, the last time Jimmy Garoppolo played the Seahawks, 11-16, 84 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick, didn't finish the game. When you face Jimmy more and more, everyone, the players, the coaches get a feel for all the places on the field you don't have to really honor. And it becomes much more game plan specific and harder for him. I think he does really good against teams that haven't faced him before. The Lions, that are just kind of playing straight up as opposed to playing to take away his strengths. So
yes, trying to do what they do well. And I think that as we go on this season, what has become very clear to me, and credit to you because you called this out at the beginning of the year, and maybe he's played better than what you implied he would, but this is the same Jimmy. I mean, let's just put that out there, that this Jimmy that we're seeing now, where he's playing well, but still has those head scratching moments where he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to do something that you scream at the TV. What in the hell are you doing, Jimmy? That's going to happen. It's the same limitations that he has. And don't get me wrong, Jimmy is an average or above average quarterback in the league. He's at that 16, 15 rank in the league, in my opinion, of best quarterbacks out of the 32 starters. And yet you have the potential for something on your roster. This is a season where we're talking about trying to make a run. What is obvious to me, the defense is not what it was in 2019. And in 2019, we needed every bit of that defense to help Jimmy out and winning the games that we did to get to the Super Bowl. We have the same Jimmy this year. And therefore, if we are going to get to the Super Bowl, we would need that same defense. We don't have that defense. But what we do have is a quarterback on the bench that potentially could be groomed into the quarterback that could take us deep into the playoffs. But we're not grooming him. We're not giving him those snaps. So it's just frustrating to me to see that trend, knowing that we could come out and have a robust package for Lance this week, but in all likelihood, we probably won't.
Well, real quick, I mean, I can understand Kyle Shanahan saying I don't need to play Trey Lance a lot to beat Lance a lot. Oh, I don't need to play Trey Lance a lot to beat the Packers. I've beaten the Packers before. I can score on this team. He can't feel that confident this week against the Seahawks. The last time he went against the Seahawks, I don't know. I think he needs to do a little bit more. We'll see. We got to answer some questions. The main threat says Sermon can play, just needs more carries. Started to get no rhythm last game in the second half, then was frozen out after the drop. Yeah, I think he needs some space to run.
Yeah, I agree. And you have to give him the carries in order to get there. I was shocked by the lack of usage when he finally did get his shot.
Yeah. Matt says Banks played left guard in college. Try throwing with your non-dominant hand. Tough going left guard to right guard. How many O-line run Kyle schemes in college? It's all spread RPO. Yeah, that was a mistake. Good call, Matt.
And let's say that Banks, to this point has not been successful, but there's every likelihood that he does pick that up. He had the unfortunate injury timing. Perhaps that would have helped him, but it didn't seem as if he was progressing in the preseason. So I don't know when he takes over right guard.
Don says, honestly, I think Kyle is a real problem evaluating talent, especially in real time. Wilson, blatant miss. Sermon should have been pulled at half. Yeah. Is he evaluating talent or is he thinking of his next play call? David says, you see York stepping in to force Kyle to play the rooks. Where does York stand with this team? Possibility York is pressuring Kyle behind the scenes. I think the pressure was to not take Mac Jones, but at this point, I don't think Jed York's going to tell him who to play. He's not Al Davis. Al Davis would do that.
No, Jed doesn't strike me as the type of personality that forcefully inserts himself into situations like that. I feel like he will sit back, let things unfold, and then make his decisions at the end of the year.
Relax, Trey fans. Kyle will never reveal when Lance plays. Lance could play 99% of the snaps, and Kyle will say he's a backup. Jimmy's our guy. Yeah, of course. And Jimmy was great. He'll say that too.